I recently discovered that my husband has secretly recorded our intimate moments in our bedroom and posted them online. Last Friday, I, 34F, spent my evening with Kate, fake name for obvious reasons, a young friend, 24F, from work, as she wanted to discuss something personal with me. I didn't think anything of it, as we do have a very personal relationship outside of work as well. But as soon as I arrived at her place, I could feel the tension in the air. She explained that she wanted to discuss a serious matter with me, but that she didn't know how to go about it. I told her to just tell me straight out, as I didn't know what to expect. Now, she told me that she had found 2 recordings of a woman she believed to be me, on an adult website. Surprised at first, I told her that would be impossible, but she told me she was 99% sure that I was the woman in the recording. Still in disbelief, she showed me the videos, and it turns out that she was right. I was totally shocked. I've never recorded myself naked or during intercourse with my husband, but these recordings didn't lie. I saw myself on 2 recordings, one of 7 minutes and one of 4 minutes, both recorded in our old bedroom. While watching these recordings, it started to dawn on me that this might have been my husband's doing. I didn't want to believe this, however, and tried to make myself believe that there must be a reasonable explanation for this. My mind was in a complete meltdown. I could barely hear what my friend was saying, but she did mention that she had been in contact with the website to get the videos taken down, and that she'll help me go through this. She also said that she would search the internet in case there are more recordings out there. When I came home, I pretty much ransacked my house looking for evidence, and would you believe it? I actually found something. In our bedroom, I found a hidden spy camera that was used to record me in my most intimate moments. After making this discovery, I had a complete meltdown. Hours of crying, vomiting, and begging to God that this was just a horrible nightmare. I am deeply religious, and I've never been with anyone but my husband. And all this time, he has been sharing my most intimate moments with the world. I don't know what to think or what to do. I feel like I cannot look at him or speak to him. I have locked myself in our bedroom, pretending to have COVID. For several days, I have been searching the web to find how other people have dealt with getting things like this removed. But the general consensus seems to be that once it's on the internet, it is forever there. Even if I were to remove it from this one website, there are likely other copies going around. I am so unbelievably hurt. I don't know how to share this with my family or how I could ask for help. I feel crippled with shame, anger, and pain. Update 1. So, strengthened by the reactions I got, I have decided to leave him. He had to go out of town for a few days for work, so this gave me the opportunity to leave him without the need for confrontation. I went home and told my parents and siblings that something horrible had happened. I explained the situation, but my parents didn't really understand what had happened. They are elderly and fragile and don't understand the internet. They kept saying that it would be okay and that it would disappear once the sites took it down. My siblings understood, however, and they got very angry towards my husband. The day my husband were to return, my siblings and brother-in-laws took me home and waited for him to arrive. We had a conversation with him, and he denied it at first, so my brothers were firm with him, which forced him to be more truthful. He admitted to doing it, but he claimed that he did it because he was depressed and had an adult site addiction. He claimed that he didn't think anyone would see it and said that he had only posted a few. When we asked him to be specific, he admitted to posting anywhere from 5 to 8 videos. In that moment, I also found out he had a secret phone and was cheating on me with random women and adult workers. All this time, I thought he was working hard, but it turns out that he was out there disgracing himself and betraying our marriage. At some point, he convinced us he needed to use the bathroom, and he somehow managed to call his mother. She arrived at our home with his brother and cousins shortly after, which caused a small commotion. They were angry at us for the treatment of their family member, which caused my neighbor to call the police. Once they arrived, they arrested me for assaulting my husband, specifically slapping him. I spent the evening locked up, but he refused to press charges, so I got released the next morning and could go back home to my parents. A few days later, my sister contacted a lawyer that was experienced in cases of non-consensual material being posted online. He advised me to press charges while they would reach out to the adult websites in order to get all of the recordings removed. He also advised me to start the process of divorce. My lawyer also urged me to go to the clinic in order to get tested for potential STDs, as my husband was sleeping around with other women, but luckily he hadn't given me anything. For now, it's waiting for the legal process to continue, but it has really been a humiliating experience for me. At this point, everyone in our community knows what happened, even the children. I really could not feel more humiliated than this. Update 2. A quick update on how the last months have been. I had to resign from my job, a job that I loved, because of the recordings that my ex-husband had made. They claim that I can no longer work there because I am a potential danger to the children and staff. Men in my community have started catcalling me with greater frequency than ever before, and often stared me down when I walk on the street. A man has even followed me from my dentist office and groped me on the street. Random men call me on my phone to verbally abuse me because they side with my husband and think I am disgraceful for appearing in those recordings. It is like everyone has the feeling that they need to cast down their judgment on me. The great majority of people are sympathetic, kind and supportive of me. But the crazy and perverted men, who believe him and are like him, are bolder, louder, and much more noticeable. As all was not bad enough already, my lawyer informed me that the investigators had found out that my ex-husband was drugging and assaulting me while I was asleep. I suffer from migraines and insomnia and need to take medication for it. He saw my medication as an opportunity to drug me, which he had apparently shared on a forum where people discuss those things. They even encouraged him to do more of those things to me. My ex-husband also decided to spread false rumors about me, that I was aware of the cameras, and pressured him into posting online. There are a surprising amount of men that actually believe him as well. The last months have been a true hell for me, and I hope justice will soon be cast upon my ex-husband. I'll update when I know more. Update 3. I wish I could say I was feeling better or doing better, but I feel awful, and I'm still struggling with everything. He has made it his life's mission to be as cruel as he can be. He is refusing to work with my divorce lawyer, and continues to be difficult for every step of the way. Due to his behavior, he is currently on his third lawyer, which makes us start from scratch every time. He is able to get away with this as well, as the court keeps granting him extensions due to his lawyers dropping him before our hearing. With regards to the posting non-consensual material, a trial date was scheduled, but here he also received an extension as his criminal lawyer dropped him too. As if everything couldn't get any worse, my father passed away a little over a month ago, and my mother is now in hospital care. If everything goes smoothly, however, she will soon be able to go home again. After my father's funeral, my ex-husband decided it was a great idea to corner me. He decided to wait for me to be alone and approached me when I was cleaning up the venue. I was on my own at that time and was kind of exhausted, so I could not muster up the strength to chase him off. I just let him talk, and he gave me a million excuses on why things were the way they were. He cried about how awful he feels for hurting me and started telling me about how he felt that I was better than him in everything. I made more money and was better educated, which made him feel jealous. He also said that he was angry that I refused to consider being a stay-at-home wife, even though he knew from the beginning. He said that he had tried to be a good husband, but that my refusal to let him have the last say was the catalyst for his anger and need to humiliate me. When I asked him, "So you hurt me because you felt jealous and think that is a reasonable way to act?" he completely lost it and started to shout that he knew I would react this way. I decided to refrain from communicating with him any further and just let him spill his guts uninterrupted. For 3 hours, he made excuse after excuse for why he did what he did. It all came down to him feeling inferior to me and him being jealous and angry that I dared have a mind of my own. Finally, he also said that he joined a support group for addicts and started going to an addiction rehabilitation clinic. He feels that I should be proud of him for doing that, and that I should take him back since he's putting in so much work. He also feels I should appreciate him not stalking me since my dad died, and he is sincere in feelings this way. He genuinely does not understand how I have been feeling for the last months and is deluded in his mind. He really thinks that his honesty in our conversation should count for something, and that I am just being a heartless person for having been stoic and unmoved by his tears and his show of vulnerability. Now there is one good thing to mention. Several of the adult sites have taken down the recordings and banned him from using their platforms, so I hope most of the recordings are gone. Update 4. Finally, I have some good news. So a while back, I was granted a restraining order, and my now officially ex-husband did continue to stalk and harass me. After calling the police for the 15th time and going to court, he was finally imprisoned, and he has been in prison for a little over a month. This has been the most peaceful month I've had in a long time. This entire time has been such a hard time for me, and it affected my mental and physical health. I've lost 12 kilograms and a ton of hair due to the stress he was causing me. However, him wailing in court was truly the chicken soup my soul needed. I've since moved from my city and now live on the other side of the country. I have been able to get myself another decent enough job, and am slowly rebuilding my self-confidence. The non-consensual material he posted has been removed from the more reputable websites, and my lawyers were able to get me a compensation, as those companies didn't want to go to court over it. Money doesn't really change how I feel about these things, but at least it assists me in rebuilding. So, yeah, I guess in the end justice is finally here, as he is facing up to 30 years and corporal punishment. For now, I will try to focus on myself again, and will trust the courts to do the necessary.